I massaged my nasal hairs.
Oh,
Whoa.
all right. YouTube is up and running. This is recorded, so you guys can either later reference it or share it out to someone that might have missed it.
Here it comes. There we are.
All right. Well, you guys want to get started?
Sounds good.
Sound good? All right. Well, welcome everybody. First thing we'll do is go to our pledge. By the way, I'm Frank, your club secretary. I'll be your MC and host this evening. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do the pledge. Jason, can you do that magic stuff you do and bring us the flag? Or
Yeah, just 1 second, please. Here. Let me go there.
Are you guys ready? Are we good, Jason?
We're good.
All right, ready? Go. I pledge
Allegiance to the
The
flag
flag of the United States of America
and to the republic
republic
for
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under God, indivisible,
with
liberty,
liberty, and justice for all.
Cool. Good stuff, man. It pays to have Hammer TV be in your club.
Benicia loved that flag segment there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good. It is good. So let's go ahead and we'll just go down some things. We're gonna be pretty short. What do you got there, Art? If everyone is thinking like, then somebody isn't thinking. Good quote. All right. Well, let's. We're gonna. We'll welcome our new members. We'll get to know some new members if we have some here tonight. We're gonna keep it kind of short and sweet this evening, guys. We're gonna pass it over to Donna. If you weren't on the net last or Tuesday night to hear Don's full update, Don, we're gonna burden you to give it one more time here at the meeting, if that would be okay. And then Jason has some good tidbits for us after that, and then we'll just end with some fellowship and just hanging out, shooting the breeze, anything anybody wants to talk about, and basically be able to sign out any time after that. Sound good, everybody? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see. Do we have any new members this is your first time here on a club meeting, Zoom club meeting? There we go. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Arvind Malia, and I'm KI6MY, new member.
Oh,
Thanks to Don. He brought me to the club. I really appreciate being a part of your club. Been a long time ham, almost 20 years, and been in the telecom industry almost for 35 years. So I'm basically, do for work and come back and still keep doing that for fun. So
Excellent.
do you live in? Where do you live?
I live in Walnut Creek, and also part of the MDARC. I'm also part of, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm also part of Mars. And so that's where I met Don. And like I said, 20 years, and I'm also a Boy Scout merit-based counselor. So I used to do quite a bit of that. And I appreciate you doing this pledge. We used to do that all the time before the start of a meeting. I also have quite a bit of few radios. I do all kinds of voice and digital. I enjoy FE8. I enjoy voice. Enjoy doing WinLink. And so I've done everything practically. Most of my radios were SDR in the beginning. I started off with the Flex. I do still have a Flex, and then I have a ICOM. I have older Kenwoods. I have VHF radios. So a lot of fun, and I'm going to be taking part in your field day.
Oh, good.
I always wanted to do a field day where I could take my motor home and set up and enjoy with friends and join in the QSOs.
Yeah, it's going to be good fun.
Looking forward to that.
Well, that's awesome. What kind of antenna setup you got going on out there?
I have 3 antennas here in my backyard. But anytime I just use one. I have a terminated folder dipole, a Tenadyne I use mostly for the HF for Mars. And then I have a off-center fed dipole, which is a Buckmaster. And then I have a homebrew little fan dipole, which I used for years and years, which I just had to take it down the other day because there's something wrong with the balun. And I need to put up another antenna, which I put up another off-center fed dipole. And so it's up on the hill. I have quite a bit of a hill in the backyard. There's all the way on the top. It's almost like 50 feet up in the air on the hill. And then also have I put up a little post in cement, and then I put up a 4x4 and put up that Tenedyne. And I get practically all over the world. I communicate. The other day I was a little surprised. I got Italy. I got Chile. I get Argentina. So it's just a lot of fun. I do a lot of, like I said, voice and data, and I also enjoy. Once in a while, I get take part in the contests, but I'm not really a contester. I just like to help other people, get their QSOs. So that's all I do. But yeah, it's just been a fun time with this hobby. And I have other hobbies, but this is one of my hobbies. But I got quite a few other hobbies, which I shall not go into.
Well, I missed the call sign. I need it for the log for my. I'm the secretary. I'll just write it down that we met you today.
Yeah, it's Kilo India 6, Mike Oscar India.
Mike Oscar India.
Right.
All right, awesome, man. Thanks so much. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
What else do we have, Ralph? So
Yes,
Ralph,
thank you.
K6RAA, Ralph, tell us. Welcome to the club. Tell us a little something about yourself. What's going on?
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm a fairly new ham. Got my technician license in 2018, and since then I also taken a nice class because we were locked up with the MDARC Radio Club here in Walnut Creek area, and I did that, and then I got my general license just end of 2020. I'm sorry. We have a nice radio room here in Rossmore, all set up with HF and all that. I was hoping to use it. Of course, it's still locked down, but they have it all set up there, so I don't have to worry about a rig or antenna and all that issues with the HFO. And but that'll be opening up soon, and I can be using actually HF. In the meantime, I've gotten interested in digital, and I guess we have about 40 people in our ham club here at Rossmore alone, but there's only 2 of us that have digital. So I've been plowing through that, and just recently got the open spot working and tethered to my iPhone. So now I'm pretty mobile with that. In fact, I went to Yosemite with my kids this weekend and was able to broadcast from Yosemite, and I think I was talking to somebody in New Zealand and in England and Korea from the valley floor of Yosemite using my open spot. So I've been enjoying it. Lots of time with the being locked down, and of course they say this stuff's easy. I got one of the easier radios to deal with, the D74 and all, but if that's easy, I hate to say hard to do some of those configurations and to get the bugs worked out, but it seems to be working fine now, and I'm really enjoying the heck out of it. So I'm looking forward to I've heard a lot of things about your good club, and very active and very helpful. So, and I can reach the repeater using my my D74 from here, so that's great. And I'm looking forward to being a productive member. So, I'm happy to answer any questions or anything else at this point. So.
Great, Ralph. Welcome to the club. I'm just curious, how did you learn about the club? I'm curious.
Well, a good friend of mine mentioned it was one of the better clubs, and of course I'm a member of the MDARC here, the Mount Diablo Radio Club, and I listened to your repeater a little bit, and I enjoyed it, and I decided I might as well join. There's a lot of nice things going on in your club. You're very helpful to members, so, but just word of mouth more or less. So
cool.
Like I say, I live in Walnut Creek, and Rossmore has about 6,800 homes here. It's like out in the country, but you're only a couple miles from downtown Walnut Creek. So it's a nice area to live in, and also lots of things to do. So, but thank you for having me.
That's great. Thanks for joining the club. Thanks for showing up and sharing. It's awesome. We got anybody else who's new? Who's first time here? New to the club, first time on the meeting? No? Okay, good. Before I move to Dawn, Jason, you got anything you need to chime in on, or?
No, everything is going good. I'll present what I brought after Dawn, and if for whatever reason we lose Zoom, just re-click the link you clicked to get here. I think I have a paid Zoom account, but it could drop. Just want to let you know. Is this a good number to call you back at, sir? Use the same link.
Same link. Thanks, Jason.
You bet.
Don, are you able to engage with us? I see you down there messing with. You were actually showing up twice on here for a split second. Can't hear you, so you're muted.
Go. So what happened was I was on my iPad, which I use all the time. And lately my battery's been running low and my iPad was giving me 8% power. I had a battery plugged into it, but it wasn't enough to handle Zoom. So I apologize for that. And now I'm on my laptop. Luckily, I was able to make the transition quickly.
Good.
John, you got to back up. We can only see you from your nose down.
Your chin. There you
Looking
go.
up your nostrils.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
There you go. So, Don, we'd like to. I know you gave a very good, thorough rundown of what's happening with respect to Field Day on the net the other night. Thank you for that. But we're here at the meeting. I'm gonna burden you again to just go through it once more, just in case someone wasn't on the net, and just so we have it on record here, and where we stand right now, what's going on. Do you mind giving us your update again?
Oh, that'll be fine. First of all, we have at this point 24 definite attendees, 2 are maybes. We have 8 trailers reserved to have spots, maybe 9, but I think it's going to be 8. And then there's a couple of folks that are using a car or a truck plus a tent. And thank goodness Jason, put that up there, because I had drawings that Bruce and I made with dimensions of the spot where we're going to be. And my iPad went down, and I tried to put it on my OneDrive, and I'm not going to go through all that. Bottom line is, if we can get to the spot there, to the left there. No, hold on. There you go. Perfect. So the land that's above the American Armory Museum and below Chadbourne Road, that kind of triangular shaped piece of land, is where we're going to have our equipment set up. On the very far right will be the most important item of the day, which is the porta potty. And then on the left, we're going to have a greeter booth, the exact location to be determined. There. But it'll be right near the entrance there. And I have drawings with the way the traffic's going to flow. Bruce and I worked together on that. That is a much better view, because that's the realistic view of what it looks like. That's the real world right there. So we're going the gate right there, and you'll turn left if you have trailers or vehicles with tents, and you'll turn left, and we'll park you in there. Can you go back to that, please?
Yeah, that's a Google fail. Hold on. It teleported me to the freeway.
Now, if you can go back and not even move the cursor once you get to that spot again.
Okay.
There, just a little bit. That's perfect. Just leave it there is fine. Now, so people that are setting up and are going to spend the night will come in Friday, and we'll spend Friday night and Saturday night there, okay? People that want to come and go, behind where all the military vehicles are, there's a parking lot. And that's where you'll park your vehicles. Now, since this lot doesn't look as big as it really is, it probably could hold 15 or 20 trailers. And right now, we only are going to have 10 campsites. So we got plenty of room in the middle. And so folks that want to come in may want to put up some tables in the middle, because we think we'll have the trailers parked around the perimeter. And maybe they'll have a pop-up tent. Oops, this is a bad one here. They'll have a pop-up tent or something like that. There we go. Perfect. And so I need to know if you're going to set that up. Actually, you can come in with the greeter and do that. The other thing we need to know is if you're going to put up antennas and what kind and how much space. And since obviously everybody can't be on the same band at the same time because we're going to burn up all the S meters, we're going to have a band plan. So I need to know how many people are going to operate, and I have a tentative list. So at next net meeting, next Tuesday, I would appreciate those of you who are planning to operate, let me know and verify what bands you want to operate, and we'll assign you a time throughout the weekend. Maybe, we're going to rotate who's operating. And we also want to know what modes you're going to operate, because we get points for operating data, for CW, for, solar power, all those kinds of things. So whatever you're using as portable power, I need to know. Now, so far, I have, in terms of helpers, I believe we have, the two arts. Bruce is going to be working cooking, and we'll work with Frank. So Frank, whatever you're going to do on the food, you guys set up the whole food schedule, and I'll totally be out of that. What I'm going to concentrate. Pardon me?
No problem.
Okay.
Who's on my list though? Who do you show as being on the food team?
I understand that Bruce is already calculated the number of pancakes that are required.
Okay.
And the amount of bacon and the number of eggs. Bruce,
Okay.
Art, and I had a little conversation about that today.
Bacon ratio is really important, by the way, guys.
It is important. Good point. So what? Bruce and who else?
And then I believe Brian, KB0A, was going to help with the cooking. Am I right, Brian? Did I hear you? Is Brian there? Did we lose Brian?
I didn't hear him. Okay, so let's say maybe Brian.
And then, Terry said she would help wherever needed. Terry, are you here tonight? No.
Okay.
And then let's see who else.
I have it from the last week too, or the last meeting.
Hey, Don,
Yes.
this is Ed, K6JLW.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
Ed. You're up for food, right, Ed?
Pardon?
You're helping with food too, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm going to put you in there. Bruce, Ed.
And Terry. You don't happen to know Terry's call, do you, Don?
I have it. I think it's NRC. But she was willing to help with a lot of things, and we're going to need help with other things too. So how many people do you think you're going to need, Frank?
That's enough. We're good. I think we're just honky-dory with that. Jason, if it's not too much trouble, can you bring up the aerial view again? I'm curious, Don, what your thoughts are on where the food should set up.
Okay.
So, because you had your thought for the porta potty, also where we want to put the banner, because I have the banner. And just so you know, guys, whoever's going to be doing the greeting, I'll get there early. So whoever our greeter is, I'll have your vest. I have VVRC utility vests for staff, greeters, whoever we think we need to give them to.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought we would do. I know Art, WD6BQX, has offered to staff the booth, but obviously we don't want to stick him with that the whole time. So we need to rotate that. And so there's.
Hey, I'll volunteer for some of that stuff too. Some logistical stuff, like
Greg,
helping move around folks. I'll definitely help. Just kind of slot me in where you need me.
KN6KIE.
Yep.
Okay, Don.
Okay,
I'll help
Greg.
with that. I'll coordinate the greeters, Don, too. Greeters and cooking. So because I've got the vests. So greeters.
Oh, okay.
Greeters. I'll be there. We'll figure out as we get closer. We'll nail down the time. And for our
Okay,
food
could we
guys-
show the green area with the grass because it has the fences and the entrance a better shot at it?
You bet. Coming up.
It'll be more realistic for everybody. Okay, so as we come in to the gate, I think the greeter booth probably ought to be just to the left, and there ought to be a banner there.
Okay, so we'll set that up as where the banner goes for the greeters right at the entrance. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then I think the food.
Maybe it goes right in the middle. Maybe we bring a handful of tables, tents or whatever, barbecue. Maybe we just go right in the middle.
No, this is Bruce. They had some picnic tables set up where you see the tanks.
Oh,
see the
well,
green,
that's even better.
See the heavy equipment there by that white half round thing?
Yeah.
There's about 5 picnic tables along that road.
How far, if we set up anywhere near, do you think we could set the kitchen up over there somewhere by all that?
I would. I definitely would
so.
do that.
Is it still close to the action to all the RVs and everything?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, people can walk there, get something to eat, and then we'll have paper plates and stuff they can walk
Oh yeah,
around.
we'll have it all. Yeah,
And the
okay,
antennas
so-
and a lot of the action will be in the middle. So I think maybe it'd be nice to be able to go out to the perimeter to get food and then come back into the action.
Like it. All right, excellent. Okay, so I've got that. I've got greeters. Cool, man. Well, I think I'm good for my food guys and my greeters. We're not. This is until June 24, so
We're gonna have one more meeting.
we're gonna have one more meeting. So all right, so I'll be for food and greeters. I'll probably try to set up a side meeting for us, and I'll just send you guys an email. I'll pick a day. And get something out to you guys. So
Okay.
Hey guys,
Now,
I have a case or two of styrofoam cups that I've had in my garage for a long time from some event long ago. You guys interested in them?
I would say sure. Yeah, bring something.
Okay.
I'm
I'll bring
not
them
sure on the drink wise how we'll do that. Probably be a lot of bottled water, bottled
Okay.
things, but it doesn't hurt to have some styrofoam cups because we probably will have some use for that for sure. So
It'll be good for coffee.
there you go.
and Frank, I have a lot of the Starbucks cups, stirrers, various types of sweeteners and all that. I'll bring all that with me too. From all the
Okay.
meetings that we held, I had extra left over.
Perfect. Thank you, Don.
Hey, Frank, I got a little comment, Bruce.
Yeah.
Do you think we can generate a parking map that shows the kitchen, the trailers, the porta potty, the gate, the greeter, like a aerial view looking down and just give people an idea when they get there how they're supposed to pull in diagonally and
I
stuff?
love the idea. I don't know that I'm the guy for the job.
I think Don is doing that.
Bruce and I were working on that together, and I was going to show it until my iPad pooped out. And so I'll have that for us certainly by the next meeting. And because Bruce and I have measured out the entire area, and with only 10 camping sites, we're going to have plenty of room there. It's not going to be an issue. but we do need the route for ingress and egress. And of course, we want anybody that's going to be spending the 2 nights there, 3 days, needs to get there on Friday. So we don't have them moving in the middle of stuff when we're trying to put up antennas and who knows what.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to prepare a band plan, and that way everybody will have an opportunity to get on there and get on the radio, and we won't have 2 transmitters, antennas pointing at each other, burning out each other's S meters. So we need to rotate the bands and who's operating and so on. And by our June Zoom meeting or face-to-face, hopefully, we'll have that all set up by working through it at each of our Tuesday night net.
Hey, Don, do you still have the Frisbees from last year?
The Frisbee?
His streaming must have given up. He froze up.
We're bouncing back.
Come on, Jason, you can do it.
All right, try it again, Jason. You dropped out.
Okay.
Jason, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah,
Groovy.
we can hear you.
What I was saying is, yes, I made those last year, and and we can definitely bring them back. But I was letting it up to Don if he wanted to do that, or if he had other ideas. You know, as the coordinator, you have the freedom to create your own.
I do really love the idea of those Frisbees, though. You know, you see who's got it in hand, you know, to stay off the band. I really thought that was a really smart idea.
I'm hardwired. I just had to make sure all my kids and wife weren't FaceTiming at the same time. So
Get enough broadband.
yeah.
I'm
So the Frisbees are a hit, Jason.
Okay.
We need to bring Frisbees.
Okay, great. I was just letting it up to Don. You know, whatever he wanted to do as the coordinator this year, I was letting that up to him.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, I don't believe in reinventing the wheel, no pun intended, with Frisbees, but I think I think that was a great idea, and thank you for that suggestion. I marked it down. So, Jason, if I could get those from you, as long as you have them, you bring them, that's great.
Yeah.
And then I need to know who's putting up antennas and what kind. Those of you that have antennas on your trailers, not an issue. But if you're going to be putting up dipoles and so on, or if anybody's putting up a Yagi, I just need to know. Is anybody putting up antennas?
Putting up a yellow one.
I am. I got a Wolf River Spring, one of their screwdriver antennas. And I've also got a little 2 meter, 70 centimeter Yagi that I'll put up as well.
Well,
but,
what's your footprint, Greg? He just needs to know what size footprint you have so he can plan the field.
I'm rather small, quite honestly.
Sorry to hear that.
I don't.
Well, I have a question.
It's not the size of the wand. It's the magic therein, dude.
Oh boy.
Okay, I've got you down for a 2 meter Yagi and a
I need a Dr. Pepper.
Yes, please.
He grows a mustache and becomes a wise guy.
Okay, Corey had a question.
Yes, I do have a question. So if I want to come and put up a portable antenna, and basically it's portable, it's a super antenna. It has counterpoise for 40 and 20 if I want to work those. The lines don't run very far and I don't need much space, but is that possible for me to do that if I wanted to?
Yeah, just tell me to use Jason's word, what your footprint is. So I know how much space you need.
Space like in square footage or circumference?
How much room are you, your antenna, your body, your radio, your table going to take up? Right? It's a field. It only has so much grass. Are you going to take up 20 feet in diameter?
Oh.
Yeah, I'd say 15 to 20 feet. Yeah.
Okay.
That's about right. Yeah.
Okay. I've got you down for 15 to 20 feet for antenna and site. I got that down. Okay, I'm going to bring, in addition to my trailer, I'm going to bring a DXCC antenna that anybody is welcome to use. It runs 10 through 40, I think. And I have a 100-foot coax, so we can pretty much run it to wherever you're set up, and you're welcome to rotate through using that. Anybody that wants it, I'll bring it. Okay, I think those are the main things. I will need somebody to be a helper to coordinate the parking, and it starts with the greeter, but we want to make sure that cars that are not part of the campsite for the 3 days, 2 nights, park in the paved area, which is behind the military vehicles. So you can come in, drop off your tables or whatever, set up, and then move your car if you're not spending the night. And we have a parking spot for you. Okay?
Hey, Don?
Yes, sir.
Don, Arvin?
Yes, Arvin.
A question on, is everybody coming on a Friday? And is there any activity on Friday? Because I think it's starting actually on Saturday, right?
The event starts on Saturday. I believe it's 11 o'clock. I'll verify all these times. But yeah, we're coming in on Friday with the trailers, setting everything up. We're going to bring the porta potty in on Friday. So we'll set up the kitchen on Friday, set up the greeter booth on Friday, and any antennas that we need to set up in advance.
Okay, so
after that, people can come and go as they please and set up as they wish. We should have plenty of space based on what I'm hearing so far.
So if I come on a Saturday early in the morning, and I'll be bringing my little motorhome, it's a 21-footer, and I was wondering if I can tap into your antenna, or I can bring my own antenna. I have a Shakespeare antenna, but I never used it, so I can't tell you exactly. I think it's about a 30-footer, and well, I'm not sure.
Let me hold off here. We want folks that are coming with trailers to come on Friday, if at all possible. You can park them there, and if you need to go home, go ahead and go home, drive home. But moving the big equipment in and out on Saturday is not a good idea. So is there a way you can bring it in on Friday?
It's not a trailer. It's a motor home. It's like a big van. It's like the Sprinter van. So I don't know if that is any problem if I just bring it on Saturday.
Well, I would appreciate if you're going to be setting up a site, if there's any way you could bring it in on Friday. If you absolutely can't, we'll try to accommodate with the Saturday morning, because the event's starting at 11, and so there's going to be a lot of activity Saturday morning. And so moving vehicles around through that grass area with people running around and so on is something I'd like to avoid from a safety standpoint.
All right. So I'll plan accordingly on Friday then. And if I can, maybe you can put me down for your tapping into your antenna, or I can bring my own antenna, depending on how many people are wanting antennas. I'll be glad to bring my own, but if you're putting up, then saves me the time and energy to put up another antenna. So
now, I'll be happy to bring it, but it's like I say, it's 40 through 10, and if people want to operate, say someone wanted to operate on 10 meters and they didn't, not that 10 meters is the band these days, but maybe 20 meters, let's say. Well, then that antenna will be in use for 20. So if you want to operate on 40, it might be helpful to have another antenna.
All right. So
I would suggest you bring it, and when the band plan becomes clear, we'll figure out who can operate on what. How many bands does your antenna operate?
It's an HF. It's a Shakespeare. It's an HF antenna, so it goes all the way from 160 down to 6 meters.
Well, that's perfect. I think you should bring it. It would be very helpful. Would you mind sharing it if other people needed to use it too?
Yeah, certainly.
Well,
I don't have the splitters, so if anybody wants.
No, we just move the coax around. I don't know how long your coax is.
Oh, I have a coax, long coaxes. I have a 50-footers and all that. So
that should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other questions or issues? I don't want to take the whole meeting on this. There'll be a lot more as we refine things.
One more from me, Don. Sorry.
Yes. Go ahead.
As far as Friday setup, what time Friday? And just confirming, this is June 25 through 27. What time Friday would you like to see us there to set up, if you have a time in mind? And of course, field day, I believe, is 11 a.m. Saturday through 11 a.m. Sunday, right? Yeah, actually.
Right. Well, I'm going to be there approximately noon on Friday.
Okay.
And so we could start setting it up. And personally, I'd like to see everything set up by no later than 7 or 8 o'clock if we can.
Oh,
that way, when it gets dark, we're all set.
Yeah. No, it should be fine.
Now, those of you that are coming, remember, this is dry camping. There is no water, no utilities at all. So you need to have your vehicles equipped to handle water and electricity or whatever, generators, solar, whatever you're going to use for power. And we're going to provide our own restrooms. We're not going to rely on the Armory Museum for that, but we do have, they've been gracious enough to give everybody free access to the museum and to all the military vehicles. They would appreciate donations if anybody is so inclined. It's a nonprofit organization. And just so you know, they're only allowed 6 events a year, and we've been able to do this as not counting as one of their events. Has to do with some kind of county regulation. So again, any kind of donations are encouraged, but are not required. And you're getting free food from the club, and the club is paying a fee for each trailer to park on the property. So
That's
the
right.
club is doing its part.
The club's picking that up, right?
Yes. Okay, are there any other questions for now?
Don, so I have Kellen, KN6ETB. He's in the YouTube chat. He's asking for 25-foot footprint, 25-foot diameter, and I would like to ask for a 20-foot diameter myself.
Got it.
Perfect. Anyone else like to put in a footprint?
24 feet, please.
24 feet?
Diameter.
And that's who?
Who was that? Was that Dan?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Dan, you have your hand raised.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
24. It's a
He's
24 foot diameter ground radials for vertical.
He hasn't been out of school that long.
Only 12 years.
Okay. Dan, are you one of the folks on the group that's putting in a trailer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, is that 24 feet in addition to your trailer?
6 feet.
The ground radials will be 24 foot in diameter. So, yes, that'll be in addition to the trailer footprint.
Okay. And how about with Kellen and Jason?
Kellen is an additional 25 because he's not putting it on top of his trailer. And I have no trailer, but I'm just simply 20 feet.
Okay. Got it. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice?
I'll probably do a
sold.
25.
Pardon me?
About a 25. I got a pickup with a pop-up behind it.
Who is that?
It's Cliff.
Got that done?
I got it. Okay. There's nothing here that scares me so far. We have plenty of room the way things looked out, the way we laid it out. You agree, Bruce?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we'll have plenty of room. I'm just going to use a screwdriver on the back of my 24-foot trailer. Just go straight up.
Yeah, me too.
And
but I'm going to bring the dipole, the multi-band dipole for others to use.
All right.
As long as they agree to help me set it up.
And are we going to do a breakfast on Saturday and a breakfast on Sunday? or just Saturday?
No, yes, no, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, just okay. So Saturday breakfast is going to be light stuff. The food team will work this out, but I envision Saturday morning kind of light breakfast. Donuts, muffins, kind of fruit, kind of thing, coffee, juice, that kind of thing. Saturday lunchtime will be great. Burgers, dogs, plenty of good stuff. Saturday evenings, the big fancy dinner provided by the club. It'll be something probably. We stick with tradition, maybe a tri-tips and chicken or something like that. And then Sunday morning will be the big breakfast. Will be pancakes and eggs and bacon. And I'm sorry. That would be Sunday morning, right? Yeah. Sunday morning would be the fancy breakfast. And then you're out of there. You're on your own. So.
Awesome.
And we'll have plenty of snacks and drinks and just things laying around, just stuff. So you won't go without food at all. Trust me. There'll be plenty of that.
All right.
I would encourage everyone to get on the ARRL website and look up all the rules and information about field day and how it's to run. I'm going to be studying that over the next week as well, so that we just know what's expected of us. But it's not a contest. It's just fun using all modes and bands on ham radio.
Don, are you going to place us on the ARRL's map locator for our field day?
I think Brian already did that. Didn't you, Brian?
Awesome.
Yep, it's already done. We're already there.
Thank you. Perfect.
I got to say, for everybody to hear, Brian has been right on top of everything. Our website, our directories, everything's been just really sharp, Brian, and thank you.
All righty. Well, thank you, Mr. Don, Invisible Man. We haven't seen you in a little bit. You've been black. I don't know if you know that.
I know, but I don't know why I have my video on and yet something happened with this. I can't explain it.
Instead, your bandwidth was too low.
I changed to a higher bandwidth and it didn't help.
All righty. So, if you've got questions or concerns, Don's a good person to get in touch with. Brian's a good person, but we're going to nail all the details down in a month. And, we're on the Net Weekly as well, so a good time there. I was going to show everyone a few things. Does anyone have anything else? Do you have any other business, anything you'd like to bring up, old or new?
Yeah, just one question I have, this Arvin.
Yeah.
On the power, all right? I believe we'll have generators or use our own generator, right? So I'm just curious how many, generators are going to be running. If there's a way to share the generators, if your laptop needs to be charged up or whatever, is there some way we can share it, or we just have to use our own, fire up our own generator, just to get power?
Like I said, there are no utilities. So everybody, the whole idea of field day is just that. I do have, I do have a 5 kW generator I could bring if someone can help me lift it. I'm not strong enough to do that anymore, but and I'm willing to loan that up to the club to use if need be. But on my trailer, I'm self-contained with generators and solar. So from that standpoint, that's just running my trailer.
Now also keep in mind, from experience with myself, depending what generator you're running, could create a lot of noise on the HF bands. So that could, make conditions challenging depending where you are. But yeah, that's a good question about generators. I think at this point we're all trying to plan how do we be self-contained, and if you know someone or reach out, you want to buddy up and kind of figure that out. But this year it's a new location. There's a lot of new people that are coming with their trailers and their equipment, and there's a lot of unknowns. So I would just try to be prepared to whatever you're bringing, you're familiar with, and you have a plan. That's how to set it up, electricity, how to work it, etc.
For an example, I happen to use a Goal Zero 1.5 kW solar battery, and I have a solar panel. My trailer also has solar if I need to use it. Bruce has 6 kW of or 600 watts of solar panels and inverters and all that stuff. We all have different things that we're using, and noise. Jason is absolutely right, because we went on a dry camping exercise, a few of us earlier this month, and once you turn on those generators, and even some things in your trailers can cause noise. So that's an issue.
And that's why I asked the question.
Yeah. And, one thing that I'm thinking about, so I'm going to come in pretty light. I plan to bunk up with Dan here. But for what I'm thinking right away is I'm going to bring a 50 to 100-foot extension cord. And, maybe at times, I'm going to bring a laptop as well. So if I have a long enough cord and someone gives me a place to plug, then that could be an option. But I'm just going to kind of be prepared, the old Boy Scout motto. Cool. Well,
that's
all right.
what field day is all about. It's about being out in the field, operating with minimal utilities.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Don. I am switching gears here. Let's see. I'm just doing a few things here so it kind of makes sense. Alrighty, so everyone is seeing my screen. So what I had prepared tonight, because we didn't really necessarily have a fixed topic, but I knew field day was very important as it's coming up. But I hope everyone has been entering. You can enter every single day into the HRO giveaway. Yes, this here 2021 Trailblazer could be yours. Why you want it? Well, I'm not really sure. It comes fully wrapped, and everyone's gonna think you're an employee of HRO. And from what I understand, it will come with a radio, a mobile radio, but not installed. But second and third prizes are radios, but regardless, it is kind of exciting. If you've been to the store, you might have heard recently there is a new store opening. And it's kind of interesting how they word that, because it's actually a move. So this weekend is the last weekend of the Oakland location, and that store will then be the Sacramento location. So it's kind of a move than a new, but whatever. I'm good with that. So where is it? It is in Sacramento off Auburn Boulevard. This, technically, if I'm zooming out here, here's Sacramento, and so it's going to be kind of down to 244. So essentially on the east side of Sacramento from us. A lot of us are here in the Vacaville kind of Bay Area.
It's right off 80.
Okay. But
so you really want to just stay on 80.
I'm very excited. The location definitely is closer. There's no bridge toll. There's less traffic and less chances of getting shot. But there it is. That will be open in June. So I'm kind of excited about that. Other things that are coming up here just next weekend is the International DX Convention, the 72nd. So everything is online here. What's that? Now, don't, as I go through a couple of these websites, don't feel like you might be missing something or you can't write it down. If you go to YouTube, the channel that I run is Ham Radio TV. You'll see this video there. It'll be recorded. It'll live there. And down in the bottom of the description, I will put all the links to everything I'm showing, so you can go back and check it out for yourselves. All right, let me see. I gotta get this out of the way. Where's that?
Jason, you're going to be active in the YouTubers Handvention?
Yes, I'm getting to that. Let's see, hide floating meeting controls. Okay, let's do that. I couldn't reach my tabs on top because of the share screen. But good question. All right, next, what else is going on this month? We have the Contest University, also coming up on May 20th there. Contestuniversity.com. That's also virtual. You can sign up. Check out that website. Here is the YouTubers Bunch, as the question was just asked by Mike. So I am a part of the YouTubers Hamfest. That is Memorial Weekend, the last weekend of this month. The idea of this Hamfest will be all virtual for free on YouTube. There's probably about 12, 15 different channels participating with a number of manufacturers, vendors, and experts in ham radio. And just recently, this is kind of like breaking news, Gigaparts wants to team up with us, and they're talking about giving things away, such as radios. I don't have details on that, but obviously, you want to be able to jump onto YouTube and, figure out what the details are. We'll have that more then on what Gigaparts is going to be doing. So, kind of exciting. What else is going on? How about May 30th, also Memorial Weekend, so it's the same weekend that the YouTuber Hamfest is going on. But hey, we'll understand if you need to get yourself out to Carmichael for a swap meet. We just had ours recently, but I'm pretty sure this will be 2 or 3 times bigger. Up here in Carmichael at the Elks Lodge, number 2103. And let's see, is there an address visible here?
Yes.
Yes.
5631 Cypress Avenue.
There it is. 5631 Cypress Avenue. If you're interested on the 30th, I would get there promptly at 7 because all the good stuff goes fast. Alrighty, we're right around the corner from the field day, as Don told us. And I always recommend to come out to field day with a logging software. We didn't cover it yet, but we'll get that on the next meeting, is who is going to be the person submitting all of our logs. That can be quite the task. But if you are using a program, it's really easy. You just merge everyone's exports and go from there. So if you're on a PC, I highly recommend the N1MM, and the website is n1mmwp.hamdocs.com. If you just search N1MM, you'll find it there. Great program if you're on a Windows. If you're on a Mac, I highly recommend Rumlog NG. Both of these programs are free, and they will export the file you need for field day.
Rumlog.
Yeah, Rumlog NG if you're on a Mac.
How about Linux?
Good question. You're bringing a Linux computer? Well, check. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you, or just Google around a little bit. Here recently, I shared out a link to members of the club. Maybe if you're new or you didn't get it or you're not aware, I recently put some shirts and some sweatshirts together. What it looks like is something like this, where the back has our club symbol there, and on the front, you can either go with the default Whiskey 6 VVR, or you can go over here where it says personalized design. And what that will give you is, I'm actually wearing one, is your call sign. So you just type in your call sign, or maybe you want to buy one for your wife. You could even put just her name there. And in the back looks like this. And it is a kind of modern shirt. So this is a large, and it's kind of small. If you like your sleeves going down to your crease of your elbow, that's the proper wear in the military, I remember. It's a little bit form-fitting, so just heads up, slightly on the small side. But other than that, they're pretty soft, kind of fun. I've got black and blue available, and also a dark gray. It's hard to go lighter in colors. I do realize we live in a very hot environment, but what happens is I lose this white lettering here. I only have this in one variation, just as you see it there. So that is hrtvshop.com, hamradiotvshop.com. If you're interested in a shirt, it'd be fun to wear on field day. You don't even need a name tag. You got it right there. I think at this point everyone should know, but if you don't know, check out the 2metercrew.net every Wednesday on our club repeater. They're there bringing all sorts of cool, interesting topics. They have a Discord and also additional links there. Fusion, do you own a Yaesu radio that is C4FM Fusion ready? If you do, you need to be familiar with ContraCostaFusion.network. One of the biggest and best repeaters is this K6MDD repeater right here. This sits on Mount Diablo, and from my testing, it has better reach than other repeaters on the Mount Diablo. Works very good. You do have to be familiar with your radio because it has a positive offset of 2.5. So that could be challenging, but hey, that's why they come with a manual. Also, fun links here for possibly new hams or anyone that is curious. This website here is called haminfo.tv. TETRANZ.com. Like I said, links are in the description below of this YouTube video that's currently live and recording. So you can punch in your call, punch in your zip code. This fancy map will process. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my goodness, look how many hams live around me. And it's actually pretty crazy to see. So this is in my local neighborhood here. Where is the plus sign? Oh, maybe I just, I have to control. Okay, that's what you do. So yeah, so you can quickly cruise around, and I'm guessing most people are aware, if you are a KM or a KN, you probably were licensed in the last 5 years. And, if that's the case, maybe reach out to a KN6 or KM6 and introduce yourself. You can grab their call, look them up on QRZ, shoot them an email, knock on their door. That might be creepy, but you know how us hams roll. So kind of a fun website to see who is in your backyard.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Funny. All these links are down on the YouTube.
That's right. Yeah, the YouTube. And so if you got the email with all the links, one link was for Zoom. The other link is for this video right here.
Gotcha.
So I put all those links in there. Go check them out. Another website I like to reference quite a bit is this contestcalendar.com. Let's see. WA7BNM puts this together. And what kind of makes it fun is, let's say I got a weekend coming up and it sounds like I'm going to have some time in the shack. I'll click on this 8-day calendar, and right here it'll let me know what's happening. So looks like there's a UNDX contest. There is a HIS, I don't know what that acronym is. Maybe a Spanish CW.
His Majesty.
His Majesty. Okay, thank you. QRP. So keeping this as a favorite on your browser could be really fun, because you could quickly click around and see what's going on this weekend. Am I going to miss a contest? Maybe there's something on 2 meters, 6 meters, etc. These are all links. So if we click into His Majesty, we can click into that. From there, it'll load more information. It is worldwide. And then here is even a website. You can drill down further to find more information on this event. So there's always a ton of things. I mean, it's pretty remarkable how many contests or QSO parties are happening. And so that's really handy to keep an eye on. All right. We live in California, and we know fires are a thing. And unfortunately, it might happen sooner than later. So I recommend alertwildfire.org. This is a way cool website. These are live feed cameras all over the place. As I'm scrolling here, you can see some. There's a map. You can scroll around and find it. So let's say here is Mount Vaca. I can click this link, and there is Mount Vaca as the sun is setting. So whether you're curious what maybe a mountaintop looks like, if you're wanting to head up there to play a little simplex, or possibly there is an active fire or smoke, you can pull this website up and kind of take a look at your area and see what you can see for yourself, and, well, figure out a game plan if so be it. So kind of a fun website there. Amateur radio bonding and grounding. I'm not going to get too heavy into this. This is a presentation that I'm actually going to be bringing to the YouTubers Hamfest. This presentation will be taking place Sunday. And I got a gentleman, his name is Derek, and he actually has written some articles for the National Electric Code, the NEC. A lot of information here. I do recommend giving this a read. There's even some diagrams he put on there. Really cool information. And for that matter, the website all this is hosted on is repeaterbuilder.com. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with repeaterbuilder.com, but there is so much information from so many smart people. It's unreal. And, all of this is just free information. So I think it's a great website, again, to keep as your favorite there. Does anyone have any questions so far or comments?
Well, this is great stuff, man. So many good things. Really fun.
Good. All right. So one thing I was going to, you know what? Let me slide this slide over here. Breaking news. This just came out today. Pacificon is back on. As of right now, it will be happening October 15th through the 17th. They have a website, pacificon.org. Tell your wife you're not going to do anything except go there, and start saving your lunch money now. So I'm very excited about that. I really hope everything stays normal and we all get to go. Sunday morning, of course, will be a large swap meet. A lot of fun to go by or even just simply check out. And the other thing
just the reason it's called, just for information, the reason it's called His Majesty is King Juan Carlos of Spain was a ham, a very active ham, until he passed away in 2018, I believe. So this contest is in his memory.
Oh, very cool. Well, thank you, Brian. So my question to you tonight, as part of, I want to give you something technical, is are you hooking up your mobile radio correctly? Okay? Sounds like a loaded question, and it is. A lot of hams for many years, and I was taught this, is you take your positive and your negative wire from your radio and you want to run it straight to your battery. Straight there to the terminals. Matter of fact, some of these fancier radios put fuses on both the positive and the negative. Perfect. Let me put it right there. I don't have a good visual, and I'll cover this more on my presentation, but hooking up your radio to the negative post of the battery, okay? Let me see here. There's something on the bottom. Here's a bit of a diagram here. So if you can envision your radio is connected straight to the battery, well, your antenna might be screwed to your vehicle, or there's a mag mount, or your radio is mounted to your vehicle. So in other words, you have a metal bracket and there's metal screws and you screwed into something metal in your vehicle, or your antenna is mounted. So the shield of your coax, the chassis of your radio, is in fact part of the ground, okay? So now everything in your car that uses electricity, which today's time there's a lot, electricity flows in the path of least resistance. So if there's a problem of a circuit of a component, it very well could actually flow through your battery because your radio, because your radio you just connected straight to your ground. That is called parallel grounding. Okay, so it can be kind of confusing to think about, but that is not best practice. You do not want to hook up your radio straight to the negative side of your battery. In fact, you could be running way too much current through your radio itself, smoking your radio, burning up that 12 gauge typically people will hook up. And matter of fact, there's also some information out there. So if I go here, Ford Motor Company actually recognizes when hooking up anything, right? Whether you have a stereo or anything that's as an accessory, they don't want you to take it to the negative post. Why? Because in this case, what Ford has been doing and other companies is they're using a Hall effect sensor. This Hall effect sensor is determining how much current you're using in your vehicle as a whole. And at that point will then dictate how much you need to charge your battery. So hooking your radio straight to the negative of your battery bypasses this Hall effect switch, particularly to this F-150. Now, I'm sure there's other vehicles because a lot of times cars will do very similar things altogether. So imagine having your radio straight to the negative side of your battery, your car not knowing how much amperage that battery is pulling or how much amperage you should be then recharging to your battery. So you see where that could be a problem. Before you know it, your battery could suffer low voltage, etc., wear and tear. So where do you want to take it? Well, if it's already there, the easiest thing would be for you is just to take it off your terminal and just simply put it right here, right? This now becomes your centralized grounding point. And I hope you come along to that presentation because you're going to hear a lot of that. You never, ever want to have multiple ground points. You want to have one. That's including the one with your house. More on that later because that gets a little confusing. But in this case, you want to put it right here to this screw. I'm going to guess it's probably a 10 mil there. Now, even better, if you haven't done a massive install or you have a new radio putting in, simply bring the negative wire off the back of your radio and find something thick and metal. It could be a body, it could be a bracket, and go as short as possible on your negative wire right to metal, right to ground. that will be your best situation, especially for any kind of RFI getting into your positive and negative. It's still recommended to take your positive wire straight to your battery, or if you have another auxiliary or another place that you can pull plenty of amperage from. Some radios can definitely pull 15 or so amps or more, so keep in mind of that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that, come to find out, most of us hams, I'm guilty, have been running our black wire straight to the battery, and the manufacturers know we're going to do this because that's why they put a fuse on the black wire.
Jason?
Yes.
This is Ed.
Ed, how's it going?
Good. Everything that we buy in ham radio that has a red and black wire going to it, the black wire is tied to the case, frame, or what have you. That is a requirement for North America.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you have in the shack, in the house, in the garage, in the car, theoretically you could disconnect the black wire and everything would still work.
Right.
As long as you were tied to the frame of the vehicle or what have you.
Correct.
Or through your station grounding or station bonding.
Yep, absolutely, Ed. Yeah, great points. So I just kind of wanted to share that. I've been talking to this gentleman, Derek, that wrote... I lost my page. Wrote that article. Let me see. it's this article here. He's the author of this article. Link is... because it's a hard link to read out. But this is a very excellent link to talk about, background and myths and things that have, we've kind of passed. What it is I think a lot of us, we pass information to one another, and it's not always perfect information. So I have other pictures here that I'm kind of building. We're going to be talking about the electrical system of your house and the transformer and service panel, but we'll save all that for later. But I just want to touch on mobile installations, because I bet 8 out of 10 of us are doing it, I don't want to say wrong, right? I mean, it's been working for how many years? You have no problems. A lot of this is best practice, right? What is the best way to do it? What is the safest way? Keep your equipment running good. Keep your equipment out of getting noise or RFI and all of that. That's what it's all about. How do you make your situation better?
When is this presentation going to be?
This will be on Sunday morning for us, which is Memorial Weekend, but everything is pre-recorded. So, if you miss it, you can watch it later on my YouTube channel. It'll live on there forever.
Okay. One other thing that I think we need to all think about is this new RF exposure, environmental exposure regulation. I printed it out from FCC at my high-speed printer at work because I couldn't, my little printers here would handle it. I had several hundred pages. And somehow, I'm gonna browse through it.
Sorry,
It'd be worth somewhere in the near future for our club over the next year. I think it's 2023 when it's required. But somehow in the next year, if we could have some kind of a presentation on the practical use and procedure to review our stations for RF exposure.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm trying to, oh boy, I hid my tool, and now I can't find my tool to unshare. I'm trying to get the screen back to normal, so you're not staring at this picture.
Don, I read something the other day that most of that is superfluous to us, and there was some guy that put it on the internet. There's actually a set of formulas that takes like 15 minutes to do. That's all you have to do. I went looking for it and I can't seem to find it.
Well, anybody can make this simpler. I don't feel like reading 200 or 300 pages if I don't have to. Bruce browsed through it and he found some charts in the back that evidently simplify things. But after field day, this would be a good, I think, thing to address, because it is going to be required by FCC for all of us by 2023.
Again, a point that this guy made, I think it was something to do with the ARRL. Anyhow, his point was we have to do it if somebody complains. Other than that, we should just have knowledge of how to do it, and it's basically really simple.
Okay.
I put information on that on our website, on our main page, with a link to how to do it from the ARRL. They made their book free and downloadable, and also the ruling about what the changes are.
I printed all that out. I haven't had a chance to read it.
Yeah, and I've watched a few YouTube videos. By no means is this the indefinite answer, but if you're running an average 100 watts on all bands, you're fine. If you're running 1,000 watts or less on the typical HF bands, you're fine. It's when you go over that 1,000-watt threshold, So if you're running a big power, big station, that's where it comes into play. If you're just running 400 or 500 watts, and again, if you're on 2 meters, just running 100 watts, you're fine. If you're running 300 or 400 watts on 2 meters, they want you to do calculations. So I want to say 90% of us, we're fine. We don't even have to do it. We fall under the exempt. But if you got a bunch of amplifiers and you're pushing max power, that's going to be you. And I believe they want you to do it already. But ultimately, the complaint's going to need to happen. I mean, the FCC has not been very active lately.
Jason, that sounds like the same one I was reading, except you had it on YouTube.
Yeah, I was watching some kind of conference. They were kind of hashing through some of this, and they pretty much said, hey, look, this is nothing new. This is something we're supposed to be doing for years. They just changed some of the thresholds, but the thresholds will only really come into play for really big stations, running that plus 1,000 watts, and all of that. I mean, if you've got a 20 meter beam and you got a 1,500 amplifier, at that point, you got a blowtorch, and that might behoove you to kind of learn what they're trying to say and how close you are to, different people.
Yeah, that's exactly the same thing I read, and it's on YouTube. I wish I'd known that. I wouldn't have had to sit down and read it all.
Yeah. But again, this is, there could be definite answers out there. So when the FCC comes knocking, don't say, hey, well, Jason said this at a meeting. Because I don't know.
Oh no, we're going to use.
I read it on YouTube.
Yeah, well, I'm YouTube.
When the police come, we're going to use
exactly
your name,
what
Jason.
I do every time, dude. I get myself in trouble. I'm like, oh, K6FAK said it was cool. So hanging out with that cat.
Mason said it. Mason said it.
All right, so I am. So go ahead. Who wants to? Anyone else want to comment or question?
I have one thing on a slightly different topic.
Mm-hmm.
For those, a lot of you guys have seen the little nano VNAs.
Yeah.
There's also another version, which is an H, which is a lot bigger and easier to read. Same functions. And then there's this. This is a tiny SA. This is a spectrum analyzer. So, am I mute? I'm not muted. No.
No, we hear you.
Yeah. So
your picture was gone for the first part of it.
Oh, really?
No, I saw it the whole time.
You saw the whole thing? There's the H model, and there's the original regular model. Here it is. So a lot bigger, easier to read. And like I said, this is something new. It's a tiny spectrum analyzer. So
where do you get that? Where did you find that?
I think I got this from R&L Electronics. It's about $50. And it comes with the cables and everything. And there's a lot of stuff out there on the forum on it. There's actually a IO, groups.io forum on Tiny SA. So yeah, because there's a few copies around, so they're kind of saying order it from a place, and R&L was one of those who is selling an original, not a bootleg. So that's what I did. But it's very similar to a Tiny SNA, except that it's a VNA, except that it's not vector network analyzer, it's spectrum analyzer, a spectrum scope. So usually to buy one of these suckers is a couple thousand. So the fact that they're making these nice small ones for us, it's really nice. So maybe one of the future meetings when I get to know that one a little better, I'll bring it in and kind of demo it.
Does it come with a bunch of attenuators?
No.
Okay.
Those things are pretty cool. There's a little bit of a learning curve I've noticed with them. And
Yeah.
I believe you do have to calibrate them almost every time you use them, but the price point is awesome.
Oh yeah,
40
I
to
mean,
60
and
bucks for something so powerful is really cool.
yeah, and this is the box. See if I can get the glare out of there.
All right. So Brian, it sounds like next meeting maybe you'll have something for us.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I doubt
Yeah,
it.
Brian, you got a PowerPoint for us and everything, right? You're going to teach us all. Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
there you go. Well, maybe.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to meet in person next month. But of course, that's controlled by the people there at the Nut Tree Airport.
Well, did
Yeah, we thought we
everybody
might be able to do it
did
this
everybody hear the announcement today from the CDC?
time. Yes.
They said if you are fully vaccinated and have gone, whether you had the Pfizer, the Moderna, the Johnson & Johnson, fully vaccinated, have gone through the 2-week period after the second or the first, shot, you do not need to wear a mask anymore.
Keep in mind that doesn't fly in California until California says that.
Well, they just announced it today, so I think it'll take a little bit for the states to move through that. And then there's still a lot of people who haven't gotten vaccinated, but actually they're just a danger to themselves, not us.
Yes.
I just the fact that the Fed's talking like that is awesome. I'm so tired.
Yeah, I
of
mean the
this stuff.
fact that it's kind of they were just talking about it and saying, they talk about the flu shots that are like 40, 50, maybe 60% efficacy, and here they got this thing and it's like in the upper 90s, anywhere from 94 to 97% effective. And even if you do get it, you're only gonna have it. You're not gonna wind up in the hospital on an intubated. You'll basically just feel lousy for a couple of days, and that's about it.
Bruce, did you want to share what you're holding up?
No, it was just the micro VNA.
Okay.
Oh,
I was listening to Brian's story.
Very cool.
Yep. There's
All
another
right.
one.
Well, good deal. Look, everyone's holding up their Nano VNAs. Yeah, they're fun pieces of kit. I mean, they're definitely the
I
right
love it.
price.
They proliferate.
I started with one, but they replicated.
Yeah, you can't leave them in the dark.
No. Don't feed it.
Like tribbles.
It's like gremlins.
Yeah, you don't feed them after midnight.
Really?
Well, guys,
Lordy.
Frank, Frank, are you still here? Oh, did Frank leave?
He should be here.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, wow. My background's there. Hold on.
Where's
There
your
he
Brady Bunch box? I didn't see you there. That's why I was like, where'd
Yeah,
Frank
I'm
go?
somewhere in there. Hold on.
That looks like
He's-
Frank's
he's
getting the
in
first
the
round of
bar.
drinks.
Oh, man.
Holy smokes!
Are you buying? Frank, let me
I'm
kick
buying.
it. Let me kick it back to you to close it down.
All right. Well, thank you, Jason. Thank you, everyone. Don, everyone, our new members. Very nice meeting tonight. Very good. Very informative. Jason, all those links, I'm so glad you put them on the YouTube.
Love it.
I'm going to go find that. And there's several things I want to go look at there. Very, very cool. And it was nice to get squared away on field day. I think we're all a lot clearer on what's going on as we get closer. We'll talk more. I'm going to take a trip down there. Is that museum open all the time? Can I just go down there and walk around like during the day, during the week? Is it just open?
They have the gates closed. I need to call Jeff, who's the manager, and let him know that we're coming.
Yeah, I was
let
just
me
hoping
know. I'd like to join you when you go.
Yeah, I just want to get a visual on things, maybe not next week, but the week after, something like that.
Yeah, we can share ideas. It'd be good if we, more people look at it. Bruce and I went down together. Bruce was nice enough to bring his tape measure, and did a nice grid drawing on some graph paper. We kind of laid it out. So we know that what the space available is. So thank you, Bruce, for that.
Don, keep me posted. I can meet you guys there too.
Yeah, let's not do it next week. I'm kind of short week, but the week after that, maybe if you guys got some time one day, we can run out and just kind of survey it,
Why don't we talk about it the next net?
Okay. Next net sounds good.
I think the armory's open every weekend, isn't it, Don?
Is it on weekends?
I believe it's open on the weekends. I just know that when I went through during the day, he told me how to get in there, but it wasn't regularly open to the public at that time. So I just want to be respectful. I just don't want people walking in there that, but if you go during normal hours, if they're open on the weekend, I don't see any reason why you just can't go.
Okay.
But I think it would be fun for us to go together and put our heads together.
Yeah. So maybe let's do that. We'll talk about that on an upcoming net and try and get a time where whoever wants to go can buzz out there. Hopefully we can get it set up and we can go out and just do a survey. So with that, it brings us to the end of the meeting tonight, guys, and everybody's welcome to hang out. Yes, go ahead.
I saw somebody out there posted where it was. If you look on their website under events, I have links and a map to the location under the field day listing. So
cool.
So anybody wants to see where it is, and they'll bring up a Google map so you can do directions and stuff like that.
If you know where the Ford Lincoln dealership is, it's on the same side of the overpass as that. And it's if you take Abernathy Road, it dead ends right into the armory. That circle on Rockville Road, if you go south on Abernathy, it runs right into the armory. You can't miss it.
Now I know exactly where it is. Good.
Just the other side of Interstate 80.
Yeah, the west side of 80.
That's correct.
Got you. All right. Good enough. I mean, we'll just call this the official end of the meeting. Jason's running the show here with his Zoom, so I don't know if he's going to be hanging out to, shoot the breeze or anything like that. But I'm going to take off. I'm going to go sit with the wife and watch TV. But
me too.
Always a pleasure, you guys, and great meeting. And we'll catch up with you on the net.
Thank you.
All right, Frank.
And I
take
did
care.
post up.
Thanks for all that good content, Jason.
Calculator.
Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jason. It was good
everybody.
stuff.
Great to see you,
everybody.
Take care, guys.
Nice job. Thank you.
I'll just email this link.
Thanks for the work, Jason.